Hi, I'm Corey Little, Reference and Instruction Librarian with Monroeville Public Library. As you know, if you were trying to join us live, we had some technical issues tonight. We apologize, but hopefully you'll be able to watch this video on our YouTube or Facebook. Tonight we're going to be doing some cooking with Beth Taylor from the Sampson Family YMCA. So, with that, Beth.
Thank you, Corey, and thanks to the Monroeville Public Library for working with us. We're going to do some healthy summer salads tonight that you can put together pretty easily. I'm going to mic up here. Corey also will have the recipes, so if you contact Corey through the library, he will be able to email them to you as well. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is a crunchy, colorful kale salad. It's going to be sweet and savory and using all kind of summer bounty. The second is going to be a Mediterranean pasta salad using whole grain pasta, all kind of fresh veg, and we're going to have some cooked shrimp in that as well. So you can see already here I have some zucchini I've started to grill, and I cut my zucchini in half across the equator there of the zucchini, and then just taking my knife, I cut it into planks. So if you're cutting a zucchini or eggplant or anything like this, kind of say make a tunnel. Let the knife go through the tunnel. We're going to cut it. Take your time. Make about 3 cuts to make some, they're probably about between 1/4 and 1/2 of an inch thick planks of zucchini. So we're going to grill those, get some nice marks up and soften them up. You don't necessarily have to make them like really mushy. You just want to get some color on them, and if they're still a little crisp, that's okay as well. So hit those with a little salt and pepper. And then of course if you're outdoor grilling in the summer, that's perfect. But for in the kitchen today, we're using our indoor grill. So we'll get these ones started over here and get some nice grill marks on those. Okay. Next we're going to work with some kale for our salad. I have most of this done. This was a nice big bunch of beautiful kale, very fresh. The kale is a little chewy and tough. The toughest part is the stem in the middle. So I always kind of fold my kale leaf in half, and then I take the stem out down the middle. And we're going to put that in our compost bowl. Here at the Teaching Kitchen at the Sampson YMCA, we have 7 raised beds that we grow vegetables and flowers and some fruit in. So we always compost. So I have a nice stack of kale here. I always, with our chef's knife, our non-dominant hand, in this case my left, is going to create a bear claw. And then I'm going to run through and just slice some nice ribbons of kale. And continue to move my fingers back here. Okay, so this looks nice and thin and bite-sized. I'm going to add that to the rest of the kale I have in the bowl. Let me just take a quick look at our zucchini. Oh yeah, that's what we want to see. The other thing with this recipe is, ooh, these are looking perfect. We are gonna make a salad topping for it. A crunchy, crispy salad topping. It's a little sweet, a little crisp. And I have a non-stick skillet here warming. I'm gonna toss into here some unsweetened coconut and some oats, just regular oatmeal, not the quick cook, and sunflower seeds. And we're gonna keep an eye on that and just periodically toss it a little bit and start to toast that. I'm going to take this first batch of zucchini off. Our fan just kicked on and the zucchini up front seems to be kind of dancing. Just extra added visual pleasure here. Take these zucchini off. We'll let those cool a little bit. Then I'm going to work, whoa, almost lost one. Okay. Then we're going to work with the kale. So, like I said, the kale stem, you definitely don't want to eat that because it's way too tough. The kale itself is pretty fibrous. I mean, it packs a lot of nutrition, a lot of fiber into it, but just to eat it straight up raw, it's pretty chewy. So what we're going to do is what we refer to in the kitchen as massaging the kale. So we're going to dress it with a tiny bit of olive oil. And I'm talking for this big bowl, maybe about 2 tablespoons tops. And then we're going to work the olive oil into the kale. And this really helps to break it down so it's much more palatable to chew. Of course, you can always cook your kale too, but you know, the raw veg is going to give you even that much more nutrition that you wouldn't be cooking out of it. So you can see it's turning a nice bright green. It's kind of, what do I want to say? Just kind of collapsing a little bit. So you can see it looks, just rub that in real good. Okay. Gloves off. I'm going to take a look at our toast. Oh yeah, we're getting some nice brown color on the coconut. That's what we want to see. We want it to be toasted a little bit. I've also prepared for when this comes out of the pan, I prepared a piece of parchment paper with a little bit of cooking spray on it. So we're going to make this into kind of a crunchy, caramely sweet topping. It's getting there, so I think we're going to be ready to add our other ingredients. The first thing I'm going to do to build a layer of savory flavor is to add some soy sauce. Okay? And that's just going to kind of evaporate for us. But the oats and the coconut are going to soak up that soy flavor. All right? Now the next thing I have is about 1/4 cup of brown sugar. I had that covered because I was afraid of it getting super hard. And I'm just going to drizzle the brown sugar over top of the whole mixture. And that's going to slowly melt. And then here's where you can adjust it to your family's taste. You know, if you don't like sunflower seeds in the coconut, put something else in. You can put in pumpkin seeds or nuts or whatever you want. But the sweet and the savory together works really well. We're going to add another layer of savory flavor, and that's some Peruvian Inca blend seasoning from Steel City Salt, local here to Pittsburgh. We're going to drizzle about a 1/2 teaspoon of that all over, and that's going to add a little kick to it as well. So I believe I have on the recipe, you can just put seasoned salt, like your basic McCormick, if you like, you know, whatever you want to do. So this is melting, I can see. Smelling good. So when the sugar melts, it's going to make like a little, almost a brittle, like a little caramelization on there. Okay, it's looking pretty darn good. Give it another second while I turn the zucchini again. Oh yeah, this batch is done, I think, too. So both the salads that we're making tonight are going to be a main dish, a main entree. This one is vegetarian. The protein in it is going to be white beans, and the other one is going to have the cooked shrimp I mentioned earlier. Okay, so all of our zucchini is pretty well done. I think this is looking pretty good. Nice and melted. The nice thing about a kale salad is it makes good leftovers. If you make a salad with iceberg or romaine or spring mix and you dress the whole thing, it's not going to be any good the next day. Everything's going to be wilted. But with the kale, it holds up really, really well. I did a trial of this last week for my family, and I was eating it for the next couple days for lunch. It was so delicious. So I'm just going to spread this out. Oh, I can smell the coconut toasting. So we have here in the kitchen helping us tonight, you already met Corey, and our audio and visual person is Amy Hansman, our operations manager here at the Y, and her daughter Grace are both helping us. So sometimes they chime in with questions, and that is more than fine. So we're gonna build the other layers of our salad. We'll let that cool a little bit, and that's a can of white beans. If you don't like white beans, put in black, put in kidney beans, whatever you like. I drained and rinsed those very well too. We are gonna put our zucchini. We're gonna let that cool a little bit before I burn my hands. The other thing is some fresh corn off the cob. I pre-grilled that. The best way to get corn off of the cob is to use a serrated knife. This is a big one. This is a bread knife, but it works really, really well. It's just very easily. You don't need to buy a fancy schmancy corn cob, you know, stripper or anything like that. This works very well. And, you know, so you're not taking up room with extra gadgets. I like kitchen gadgets, but they have to have a couple purposes for me to want them in my drawers, in my kitchen, in my small kitchen. Okay. Alrighty. So get all that corn off, and use my favorite lifting tool. Get that corn in. So this is going to be really pretty, super flavorful. Got our beans, the rest of the corn. So that was 3 cobs of corn total. Now I have just about a half a cup or a full cup of fresh cherries, or you can use any kind of stone fruit. I think I might have put peaches as an idea, but you know, this adds a little sweetness. If you don't have a cherry pitter, I was just slicing the cherries side by side, or off of each side, the pieces. Oops, I don't want the stone there. Just to get little bites of cherry goodness. It's great if you have a pitter. That is one thing that's fun to have, especially if you bake a lot, you're doing a cherry pie or something like that. Okay. While the zucchini cools, the last thing I'm going to do is make our dressing. So this dressing starts with some lemon juice, sunflower seeds, so that's going to make a thick and creamy dressing with the sunflower seeds, a little bit of Parmesan cheese, and I'm going to throw the basil in just right now, and so it'll get pulverized. I know in the recipe it says to put it in at the end, but we're gonna put it all together in our olive oil. This is a really thick dressing, and it also recommends to add some water to thin it down. So we'll put this, let this go first. Really helps if I plug it in and turn it on. You can tell this is live. Okay. Okay. I'm going to start off by adding a good, probably 1/4 cup of water. See how that works for us. Now when I made this at home, the dressing is very flavorful and rich, so I only put about half of it on the salad. We ate it on another salad another night, but you can, you know, depends. I don't like my salads real heavily dressed, so do it the way you like it, but okay. There we go. That looks good. I am going to grab a spoon and just taste a little of this. I think it's pretty good for salt and pepper because I used salted sunflower seeds. So I think we're fine. Okay. Get our zucchini cut into some bite-sized pieces. And again, this is something that would travel well to a picnic. It's not a mayo-based dressing, so it's going to be, food safety-wise, it's going to be a good choice. I would only put the crispy, crunchy topping on when you're ready to serve it, but the rest of it could be dressed ahead of time. And so you're going to see the pretty grill marks on the vegetables and the pretty fruit and dressing. And I like dressing a salad by pouring the dressing around the outside of the bowl instead of just dumping it all in the middle. And then working everything into the side. Okay, see the pretty fruit. All right. Just gonna double check my cheat sheet to make sure I didn't miss anything. Yeah, we're all good. So here's our beautiful topping. You can toss that again. Get that incorporated a little, and you have a beautiful, very different tasting summery salad that's gonna be super healthy for you too. And if you have vegetarians with you, it's a main dish with all those lovely high protein beans in there. Okay, so that's salad number one. I'm gonna move on down over here to the other side of this stove. No cooking for this one. Just gonna get out all of my fresh ingredients. Oh wait, I'm a step ahead of myself. I already have now. All right, well, ignore me. Okay, so this is a Mediterranean pasta salad. Lots of great fresh ingredients. We're gonna make a dressing right in a bowl first and then just keep tossing everything into it. So one of the first things we're gonna need is some fresh garlic. And again, a garlic press is a great tool to have, but if you don't have a lot of room in your kitchen, you might cut back on some of these gimmicky toys. But if you have a good chef's knife, you just want to press down first to release the skin from the garlic. And I'm just gonna cut off the end. A bit too. And then we'll just slice our garlic very thin and then chop it up nicely. If you don't have fresh garlic or don't use it, you can certainly substitute in garlic powder. Garlic powder, the ratio for that is about 1/8 of a teaspoon, just like a pinch of garlic powder because it's super strong, to one would be equivalent to 1 clove of garlic. But I like the flavor of the fresh garlic. You can buy it minced in a jar too, or you can buy the cloves in a jar already cut or already peeled for you. But we just always have it in our house. So we're gonna do the fresh garlic, a little bit of lemon zest, about 2 teaspoons of lemon zest, 1/4 cup of lemon juice. And then we have in here paprika and salt and pepper. So I'm gonna, paprika was sticking in there, okay. And we have about 2 tablespoons of freshly chopped oregano. So we're gonna whisk all of those things together first. Okay, and then I'm gonna slowly drizzle in extra virgin olive oil. Mediterranean diet, you don't use animal fats, okay? You want to use plant-based oils instead. So this is a beautiful extra virgin. It's going to taste delicious, a little peppery and grassy in your salad. So we have the nice base of our fresh dressing. And the lime juice, or the lemon juice, and and the fresh herbs, all of that tastes super, super good. Next thing we're gonna add, I pre-cooked 2 cups of whole grain pasta. So we'll add that to it. And then most of our fresh veg. Okay, we're gonna, there's a pint of cherry tomatoes cut in half and about a 1/2 cup of sliced red onion. I have a gorgeous orange pepper. So this will be truly eating the rainbow in a one dish here. So that's all cut up into little bite-sized pieces. Kalamata olive. So that adds a nice bite of brininess and extra texture to your salad. And this is you can use anywhere from 12 ounces to 1 pound of pre-cooked shrimp. Bought it frozen, defrosted it, and we'll just put that in. Okay. Avocado. So I have some of these ready to go that I've already kind of cubed. Okay. This one's ready to go. I'll show you on the last one how I did that. Everybody has avocados on sale this week. It's the time of year to get them. And they're a superfood and they're packed with healthy fats. Many people might steer away from them, but as long as you eat them in moderation, it's a healthy plant-based fat for your body. So I cut the avocado by putting my knife in and just going around the pit. And then to get the pit out, we kind of whack our knife into it and turn it, and that takes the pit out nicely for us. So I wanted nice little cubes in here, so I just made a couple vertical slices. I couldn't think of the word. And now I'll make a couple horizontal all the way through. So I'm making little cubes right within the avocado skin. And I'm going to just scoop it out and they'll break apart for us. Okay. So the lemon juice that we have in here will certainly help the avocado from turning brown. Although I don't know how well this would do the next day. They might get a little brown. Everything will taste okay, but. All right, couple last ingredients. One is 1 cup of chopped parsley, really nice and fresh. I'm gonna get in there because they look a little big. Okay, easy way to chop herbs we do a lot in the teaching kitchen here is just to put them in a bowl and then go through them with a pair of kitchen shears. These are fun. This is a trick from my old days of many years of selling Pampered Chef a long time ago. And these are both from our, well, not the parsley, I'm sorry, but the oregano is from our garden here in the teaching kitchen, and so is the mint. We have mint. Yeah. Not the parsley yet. I still need to plant some parsley. But, okay, there's the lovely mint. And then the last thing we're going to add to this is just a 4-ounce container of crumbled feta cheese. So we made this last week in the teaching kitchen for a lunch and learn demonstration, and everybody was going home to make it for the weekend. It was quite delicious. I mean, this is a wonderful lunch meal. You know, if you're having people over or something to take to a picnic. Again, having a oil and vinegar based oil and lemon juice, I should say, based dressing that's going to hold up nicely and be a little safer to take along. Okay, and we also used a whole grain pasta. We tried to, as much as possible, cut back on carbs. But if you're going to eat a pasta, it's better to have the whole grain. It's going to have more fiber and more nutrients that are sifted away to make that white flour. So, you know, try to, when you're having pasta. And this cooks up really nicely in al dente, and it's a nice firm bite in this salad, and we really enjoyed it last week. So that's it. Those are the 2 salads to get us through these next summer months and use some beautiful fresh produce. Like I said, most of them you can interchange what you like, what your family likes, what you have on hand if you're cleaning out the fridge. But try some kale and try a Mediterranean salad. And thank you for joining us.